Now it's your turn to practice adding and subtracting two fractions. If you have not completed these problems already, pause the video, return to your lecture notes packet, and try these on your own first. Once you've completed them, then return back to the video to verify your answers. In Part A, to add 3/4 plus 5/6, because we're adding fractions, we're going to need a common denominator. So our first step is to figure out what is the LCD for 4 and 6. One option is to multiply 4 times 6 to get 24, and that would work as a common denominator, but it is not the lowest common denominator. If I start looking at the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, I come across a multiple of 4 that is also a multiple of 6. So I would choose to use the common denominator of 12. We'll now need to manipulate each fraction so that it has that common denominator of 12. Looking at the first fraction, 3/4, I ask myself, 4 times what gives me 12? Well, 4 times 3 is 12, but if I multiply the denominator by 3, I need to multiply the numerator by 3. Separately, looking at the fraction 5/6, I ask myself, what do I need to multiply 6 by to make it become 12? Well, 6 times 2 is 12, but again, if I multiply the denominator by 2, I need to multiply the numerator by 2. Now simplifying the two multiplications first, 3/4 times 3/3. 3 times 3 up in the numerator is 9. 4 times 3 in the denominator gives us our common denominator of 12. 5 times 2 up in the numerator and 6 times 2 in the denominator gives us 10/12. Again, we now have our common denominator of 12, which is what we needed. To now add the fractions, because they both have the same denominator, that denominator carries to the answer, and 9 plus 10 is 19, giving us a final answer of 19/12. In Part B, we are looking to subtract 7/6 and 3/8. Again, because it's a subtraction problem, we need a common denominator. If we start looking at multiples of 6, we have 6, 12, 18, 24. When I get to that 24, I see a number that is also a multiple of 8, so my LCD is going to be 24. So now we need to convert each fraction so that it is a fraction over 24. Looking at the first fraction, 7/6, I need to multiply 6 by 4 to make it 24, but if I multiply the denominator by 4, I also need to multiply the numerator by 4. In the second fraction, 3/8, I need to multiply 8 by 3 to make it become 24, and similarly I need to multiply the numerator by 3 as well. Simplifying the multiplication, 7/6 times 4/4. 7 times 4 in the numerator is 28, 6 times 4 in the denominator is 24. In the second fraction, 3/8 times 3/3. 3 times 3 up in the numerator is 9, and 8 times 3 is 24 in the denominator. Now that we have two fractions with the same denominator, I know that common denominator of 24 carries to the answer, and 28 minus 9 gives us 19. So we have a final answer of 19/24.